Good evening, it's 6 o'clock and we are live across the nation. We are talking about a brand new one-day special. It's the Big Save, which means I think for the first show I have done since we launched the Big Save, this is the first time you can actually use your £5 credits with the main bundle. There's no flexible payments of £29 and 28 pence because we're good at that here. We are over £30 for the big bundle, which would take everything down to just shy of £27. She's good at what she does. It's the one, it's the only. Stamps away. Yes, indeed, we are talking the big name of Stamps Away, and what a bundle have I got for you. So, let me break this down. Break it down. We have got, in theory, three one-day specials. I've got the official one-day special, which is the big one here, okay? Then I've got the second one-day special, and they're both under the same item number. Okay, 705146 is your item number. I've got the big one. I've got your bookbinding kit, or you can go for everything. Okay, so carry over that £14, so it's £14, £40. Add another £3 on top of all that. For £32.98, you can get the lot. But if you've not already used that £5 credit today, £27 and 98 pence today for both of them. Oh yeah, look, there's no flexible payments on this, so you can get both of them for £27.98. Or if you've already spent your £5 credit today, roll it back because it's over £30. PayPal. I can split that into three. Anything between £30 and £2,000, I can split into 3 interest-free flexible payments using PayPal. Terms and conditions are on the website, but it's worth having a little look. That makes this a ridiculous value for money of what you are getting in here. Now, obviously, it wouldn't be Stamps Away. She is like, in theory, our very own Christmas elf. She is now here all the way through the festive period, which I absolutely love. I am her Rudolph. She is the Santa to my Rudolph. She is the elf to my elf. It is the one. It is the only. It's Ali Reeves, everyone. Yeah. Yes, it's Steve Wright Radio 2 clap you got there. How are you, love?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
This is ridiculous.
It's good, isn't it?
This... £27.98.
I know.
I
was going to make a phone call, actually. I might buy one.
It's one of these that you look at and you go, really?
Yeah, I mean, when we were putting it together, because basically it's tools, because you've got your templates and you've got your bookbinding cradle and things like that, so it's all tools. But then it was like, well, you know, you need a little bit of something to play with, so let's put some papers in, let's put some ephemera in, and it kind of sort of snowballed.
It is a lot. Either way, you are getting both options. So in this kit, as you look at it all, you are getting, in the main bundle first, I'll talk about this kit that you are going to get in there. You are going to get, this is the My Journal kit, a fabulous bundle for journal making that you can get in this. You're going to get 1 set of plastic templates, pockets, tags, papers and envelopes. Good luck finding these. I've just got it written down. You're also going to get 3 sheets of ephemera. We'll go in this in more detail in a minute. You're going to get 7 printed papers, okay, so you've got your 7 printed papers. You're also going to get a sorted A5 and A4 card that's in there, so you can start creating straight away. You're also going to get A4 clear plastic in there as well. So you can do all your little tabs, and we'll show you these as we go through. There is your clear plastic that we're looking at. You're also going to get your large form of craft paper that's in there, so you can start creating journals, tabs, cards, pulleys, as we said before. You're also going to get a sorted ribbon, and you're also going to get record cards and tickets, and that's just in one bundle. And I had to have it written down because I won't remember it. And then, for the big bundle here, you're going to get all of this. So you're going to get 1 of your MDF bookbinding cradles, okay? Then you're going to get, which we'll talk about this in a minute because it's slightly smaller and it's slightly different to the one you've already got, and I will press on this in a minute. You're also going to get then your book press. You're then going to get your needle, okay, so you can bind everything together. You're also going to get your reel of variegated thread. You're also going to get 2 of your piercing guides, which can create books from this size through to this size and even bigger. You're also going to get 5% of the stock is already gone. You're also going to get your instructional DVD that will tell you how to do absolutely everything. 10% now of the stock has already gone. We are busy. Right then, roll it back again, because I know there's a lot to talk about in this kit. Let's talk about the cradle itself first, because some people may see, well, I've already got one of these.
Yes, and it's not an optical illusion. It is a small cradle, because we've done the traditional bigger cradle, which is great, but the small cradle allows you to do small books. I love making mini books, and in the normal size cradle, it is awkward, it's cumbersome. So this is a small cradle, but if you haven't got a cradle at all, you can still do big books as well. But it's perfect for little books, and the guide is a different size, so you can get multiple holes into your teeny tiny books.
I love this. Look at that.
I just think for pendants, that's such a lovely idea. And inside, because what my thinking was, in your journal, because you've got the templates to do all the fabulous pockets, you can now start making books to go in the pockets. And it just sort of, not snowballs, because it's not, because it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It's like infinite. So you can literally use anything. So that's a bit of wood I found.
So we can make a book out of anything. That's out of old driftwood that you got there. Then a little tiny, and it's a real usable book. So every one of these pages you could generally write on, or you could keep a stamp on. 15% of the stock now is already gone. Genuine pages. I absolutely adore this.
I have done one in a walnut shell as well, but I couldn't find it. It's so small. I've put it somewhere
I remember seeing that one. Yeah, you can do anything, especially now at Christmas time.
I know, it's the perfect time for it.
Because you're going to have a lot of your nuts out, aren't you? You're going to get your nuts and shells out. So you might as well... what you do in your own house is entirely up to you. But you can now turn them into books. Is this the magical one?
So that's got a bit of everything from the templates in.
It's not this one, but I will find it in a minute. So this is where your acetate comes in. So I'm jumping between kits, I understand, but you might as well go for both of them.
Well, it does work to cross, because obviously I've used the cradle to bind that.
I love this. That's your acetate that you get in the kit as well.
And then these are some of the pockets that you've got in the template set.
Look at all
And the ephemera that we've put on. So those, I've bound little books to go in the pockets. So again, it all works together. But look at the ephemera. There's lots of ephemera that says pull and arrows and things like that, so that you can, because the whole point of this is making interactive albums. You've got a little envelope on there that fits perfectly on the pocket. So take a peek, pull. Or
I absolutely adore all of this. Then you're also getting the wax seals included in that as well. Is it this one?
Is that one?
This one. So I'll tell you the story when I get to the page. But once again, which also means now, old wrapping paper I'm having at home, I can now turn that into a book. Yeah,
wallpaper, anything like that. Wrapping paper, this is the perfect time for it. Maps, I love using maps. I've taken pages out of, you know when you start a notebook and you only use half of it?
Yeah.
Take the rest of the pages out and start popping them in.
A quarter of the stock now has already gone. Look at that, look. So map, no map, but still the same stickers. That's blown my producer for a good 15 minutes. Why, she's very clever. She's won awards. There's a horse riding awards she has won. She's wasted here. But this proper
But you see, that also works great on a card. Just because we've put these in a journal, these don't have to be in a journal. That would be a really nice one to put your gift cards on and things like that, because you could actually hide behind, or you could put little secret messages.
I love that. I love these.
Because sometimes when you're writing a journal, you might want to share the pictorial side, but you don't want to share the actual journaling side, the personal side. So you could hide it in pockets.
We are very, I missed that one. 30% now of the complete collection stock has already gone. This is the first time we have bought you a big bundle like this. You've got everything you need to make the books, and then you've got the stuff to make the book. But then once again, roll it back. There's a lot of rolling back in this show. But use the templates for the books you've already got. So use the old filofaxes that you've got. Use the old diaries that you've already got.
Diaries are great because we haven't probably used them much this year. So you can white gesso over or stick the pockets on. This is all designed to fit on an A5.
Well,
so if you've got a normal week to view diary, you can upcycle it and, you know, start.
That is very true. My diary was empty from about 99. I'm not going to lie, there's not been anything since 1999, to be honest.
No.
It's been quite dull. But diaries, planners, journals, jotters, it doesn't matter what you use. Now, this is not the only thing I have on the show, OK? There is loads more. Jump to the website. I've got on there. I've got words and numbers. I've got words and numbers collection that's on there. £22.50. I don't know why I couldn't say words and numbers. Look at the savings. Should be £44.98. Best than half price. I got DVDs and USBs, deep freeze, David Bowie LPs. I've got all sorts on this show. I've got badges. That's the start of Only Fools and Horses. That was. Then we've got they're Bradless Brads.
Yeah, legless brads.
Legless brads, so it's not got the backs on them, so you can use them as like little button heads. And things
so
like
again,
that.
on the journals, they're brilliant because they're great for making your little pulls or making them as faux seals on. They're just really nice little embellishments.
Literally, my producer is in her element at the moment. She's like, look at the eyes, she's having a lovely hour. And she's got this twice. So she's having a lovely little time. She'd like in the brads, you put these and put your little twine around them to lock everything closed that you want to use in this one. Already, a third of the large collection now has already gone. I am 12 minutes in to my first live hour. As I said before, the complete kit, you're going to get a set of plastic templates, pockets, tags and pages, envelopes. You're also going to get 3 sheets of ephemera, 7 printed papers, a sorted A4 and A5 card, clear plastics. You're going to use 1 large craft paper. You're going to get sorted ribbons, record cards and tickets. You're getting MDF, book binding cradle, your book press, your needle, your reel of threads. You're getting your piercing gauges in there. You're also going to get your DVD. And Ali will also throw in a partridge in a pear tree. Ali dared me to get it in. £32.
Just the way the list went, it was definitely heading that way.
She was like, I bet you can get it in. I was like, yeah, I can. Use your £5 credit. If you've not already, it's worth using that £5 credit on this one. Takes it down to £27.98 is what you're looking at now. £27.98 with that £5 credit. Or split the cost and, wow, you buy 2 of these, this is going to last you. You could gift a set of templates, but keep all the ephemera for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's worth having a go. Then you can split up to 2 because you'll be over the £60 mark. Right, let's get to Ali to see what we are up to first. OK,
so what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the pocket templates and then I'm going to bind some little books to go in my pocket. So, they're all designed to go on A5. So I've just taken a bit of black card, folded it in half. So this could be a page that's going in a journal. It could be an existing page, or I could have made the journal fully. But it's entirely up to you. So this is a large, sort of long, thin pocket. So again, this would work on a card. This would be really nice on a card because you could do a landscape one and then have little bits in there. But we're going to do a little pocket. And now this is something that I've found is really handy. You know how you have your annoying paper strips that say the make and everything on? It doesn't matter on these because you put it on the flap and then nobody sees it, and it just means that you're not having to cut all your little trimmy bits off. So obviously you would do this with a pencil. I'm drawing around it with a black marker so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to draw around, and we've been extra generous with the tabs so that if you are making a travel journal or something like that and you want to be able to keep leaflets or things, memorabilia in there, you've got a good bit of gusset to work with. So all I'm doing is running my embossing tool up and down there so that I'm not having pencil marks on there, and it will help me fold my pocket up.
Okay.
It just makes life a little bit easier. These look fabulous out of vellum and out of the acetate, which is why we've put acetate in the kit, because I love either acetate pages, acetate covers, or the pockets, because then you can see what's inside.
These would look amazing in vellum.
Vellum, I've done a vellum envelope, it's really lovely. Right, so you're just folding it. The trouble is, it's really hard because obviously everything's in one or two books. I made 3 complete journals, so...
Yeah, look at that. A little vellum envelope.
So put some glue on there, and then...
That's well cute.
I position this at the edge of your page. Okay, so you've now got a lovely little pocket. So,
guess what, Al? Over a third of the stock has already gone.
Excellent.
Over a third. You say that, you've got to pack them all. Merry Christmas! A third of the stock now has already gone.
Is a microwave ready meal acceptable for Christmas dinner?
So, for Christmas dinner.
Right. Okay. In the kit, you get 2 different shaped tags, and these have got a score line down because they're designed to tuck into here and then fold over so that you can have a flap that opens. But I'm actually going to make these into little books. So I am going to draw around, and what I love about things that you can open and shut like this is you can make use of your double-sided papers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm
also thinking now, though, that I don't know about you. Has anyone sent Christmas cards? I've not received that many Christmas cards this year.
Can I confess, I actually made Christmas cards this year.
Did you?
I did. I only made about 5 of them.
I didn't get many this year, but I was going to say anyway that you could either go and buy a set of Christmas cards and use them as pocket fronts and tabs and use the fronts of them, or recycle the ones you've got and use the elements out of there.
Yep, or this is one aimed at people like my mother-in-law, who always phones up a week before going, have you remembered Auntie Jo's birthday? You get a diary, and in each month you put a pocket, and inside you put a few cards, and on there's the list of whose birthday is that month. Now, also, if you were like my mother-in-law, they'd probably be addressed and an envelope on them, so there is no excuse to forget.
That's why I do with mine.
Yeah.
All mine are sent to my parents with stamps on, and my parents then, because I forget them. Really? I don't know who I'm talking to. 40%, really? Really? 40% of the stock. 17 minutes in, 40% of the stock has already gone of the massive bundle. We did not expect this on the 23rd of December at 18 minutes past 8. 6. I saw 18 and I just saw the 8. For Christmas, I've asked for a clock to tell the time.
Is it one with different coloured hands?
Yes, so I know what hours are and minutes are.
The big hands at the 12.
I can't even blame it. I've had a long day. This is only my second hour of 3.
Right. So what I've done is I've made the tag, and then I've just cut up an old notebook to make some inside pages. So now in comes my cradle. I have to say I am a little bit in love with my mini cradle, because I probably do more miniature stuff than I do the big. And when I was trying to do mini books on the bigger cradle, it was very cumbersome because I wasn't able to use the piercing guide. So I was having to hold it and then pierce. But the piercing guide is like having an extra pair of hands. It holds your pages in snug for you, right into that crease, and gives you the guide of where to pierce your hole. So just roughly line that up. If you want to mark your middle hole, but you just make it sit so it's evenly spaced, and then it's just a case of taking your needle. You see the piercing guide is holding my pages for me, nothing's sliding about. And there's my holes, beautifully pierced, all spread out nice and evenly, and then just using any thread. I had got this threaded up. I like bookbinding needles, the hole's really good and big. And then it's just a case, start in the middle, and you just go outwards to the end. And what I love about this is the making the books is so quick. We used to have to do this at college. Whenever we did any of our coursework, it had to be in a hand-bound book. And it was like, it was literally a bind. But
Did you go Hogwarts for college?
Teacher training, so we made children's books and things. So
Oh
it all
my
had to be
word, you had to hand bind all your own books.
Yes. And I didn't have a cradle. How I wish I could go back in time.
Yes.
Right. So when you've come back down, you don't go in the middle hole, you skip it.
Okay.
Okay?
How come? Why?
Because if you go through the middle, your ends will end up on opposite sides. So you want them to end up on the same side so you can knot them together. And the great thing is, if you do accidentally forget that, you'll soon realise your mistake and it's very easy to unpick.
Question.
Yes?
So obviously, it's the 23rd of December. We're buying our kits now.
Yes.
They will be delivered to us after the festive season.
Yes.
Obviously, between tomorrow and Christmas Day, there will be a little bit of blue nun consumed, and you expect me to remember all this. Is there any way where I can find all this information?
Well, you could watch the DVD that comes in the kit.
She's good. She's good. Thinks of everything. Thinks of everything.
Failing that, in case, you know, you sort of, you know, you're not happy on a DVD, you can always message me on social media.
Well, you're here, aren't you? You're here from the 27th.
In fact, my husband threatened to not even bother picking me up. He said, "Did you not pack your PJs?" No.
Oh.
It's nice, isn't it? I love the fact he volunteered me to do all this.
That's very true. He rang and booked the shows.
So, what are you doing while I'm here? Well, I've got to babysit the boys. That's the dogs, by the way, who will be asleep. So, not exactly hard work. So, there you go. One little bound book. And then, look, it tucks into your pocket. And you've got space to put 2 of those in, and then you get your ephemera that says open or lift, and then you can look at it in place like that, or it can be pulled out.
I love it. And do you know why I like this? And do you know what? Because we were talking about this with Lou Withers earlier. The reason I like this is you don't need all the kit and caboodle. You don't need a die machine. They've got their places, don't get me wrong, they've all got their places, because I've got dies in the next hour, but I'm saying, if you are just starting out and all you own is a pair of scissors and a pen, you get everything in this kit.
You do, but also start looking round. I love making covers out of cardboard boxes. They are really good. You know, you could make the tag out of a cardboard box. Old maps, go in the car, get the out-of-date atlas, endless pages. We're about to have the festive season where there's bound to be wrapping paper, gift bags, all of those can be cut up. Start looking at the Christmas cracker boxes. You'll go, oh, that's pretty. The acetate covers of chocolates, really nice. The in the top of the box of chocolates, that funny wrinkly paper, that is really good. Fold it in half, pierce your holes in it, stitch it. You've now got a really, and it will still smell of chocolate, which is nice as well. You know, you can literally make books out of anything.
Why do I feel, Ali, that the bin men love coming to your house because they're always empty?
Yeah, they don't come that often.
Yeah, like, there's nothing in Ali's black bins, just nothing, just all in the craft room.
Yeah. There is a box that is, yeah, I'll probably make a book out of these later. These are the, you know, the colour swatches.
Colour swatches from Wilco's.
Actually, that's a Pantone book, so don't let my husband see that because that's from the printer.
But they would still work to make books out of.
Yeah, and they're really nice because what I'll do is I'll show you that you don't actually have to, you don't even have to make sure your pages all line up. It doesn't matter. It can be torn pages, it can be anything. Recycle old books, perfect.
It is one of those things that could go on, and I feel once you stop, you'll think, oh, actually, I could do that. Oh, actually, I've seen that and I could turn that into a book. Once I've got that, oh, I could use that. And I've just inherited a lot of photos from my nan. And I mean boxes. We're talking thousands of old photos. Some of them, I haven't got a clue who they are, because they're the old school postcard ones when you used to get them on the back of postcards. So I've just inherited them, and I'm like, oh, what do I do with them now? And I don't want to bin them because they've still got memories. They're family at the end of the day. They were my nan's family and friends. With this, I could turn that 12 by 12 that I've got at home. Molly's got funky foam. at home as well. I could turn that into a book cover. I could go really glitzy, but then on the inside would be old school photos, but I know they're protected. I know they're still looked after because then I could put the vellum sheets in the middle and the acid and ligament-free sheets in there. So I know it's all done, but it's not bodged. It's not just been put together with a hole punch that's there and a bit of ribbon that I found at the old shoelace. There are proper books. These are books that will live and last and can be passed down from generation to generation. These are books that you could create for maybe, you know, someone's having a baby and maybe each page is going to be a month. So by the time they get to the end, maybe it's going to be a Christmas scrapbook. So every year you have a new scrapbook, and the first page it's got a list of cards that you need to write. Then it's got presents, so it's for him, it's for the brother, it's for the sons, it's for the daughters, it's for Nan, it's for Grandad, aunts and uncles. Jean over the road sends you a card, so you need to get that. Then you've got your Christmas shopping list that you need to get, and when you need to get it. The back page, Nana's special recipe for the bread sauce that no one ever knew what it was, but you've got it in your journal. And this is what it could be for £27 today. £27 if you were using your 98 pence, 27.98. If you use your £5 credit today, this is what you could be doing. Over 40% of the stock now has already gone. I personally, I really do think it doesn't matter what you're into, whether it be from calligraphy to IT, from soft crafts to paper crafts, to knitting, to felting, to running, to walking, jogging, trekking, doesn't matter. This will fit in everyone's life. And whether you all sit around the table once a month and you go, right, we're all going to make a book, and that's going to be our book for that month. We all say it, and no doubt most of the people I'm guessing in this room have already said, or have said in the past, I'd love to keep a diary. I'd love to keep a diary of my life every single day so I could look back in years to come. Mine would be very boring. Get up, come to work, go home. But, day two, save again. But it is. But you could now create your own diary. I could create diaries, but in picture form. I have nearly 11,000 photos on my phone. I could print them off on a selfie printer and bookbind them and turn them into a year of my life in photo form. I just think all you need is the bundle that you have here, your set of plastic templates, your pockets, your tabs, your pages and your envelopes, your 3 sheets of ephemera that you're going to throw in, your A5 and A4 card. You're getting your clear plastic sheets of acetate in there as well. You're going to get your large craft paper, assorted ribbons, your record cards and tags. You're also going to get your bookbinding kit that's in here. So you're going to get your bookbinding cradle, your book press, your needles, your reel of thread, so you are good to go. I'm like a lollipop man. Your book threads, your piercing guides, and your instructional DVD. All of that. And all you need to bring to the party is stuff. All you need is a pen and paper. Well, you don't even need that. You just need a pair of scissors and a pocket full of memories. And you are really good to go. Almost 50% of the stock has already gone. New year, new you, I think they say. And this could be the new you. I think it's absolutely a cracking little deal that anyone can achieve.
And also what you're saying about making a journal, if you buy a shop bought one, which these pockets still work in, but sometimes that's very daunting, 40 empty pages, make a book that's got 10 empty pages, 4 empty pages, and then once you've made them, you can then all bind them all together because it covers doing spines as well. You can then bind them all together in a book at the end of the year, so it's less daunting as well. Because as I say, if you want to buy a journal, they're always really thick, and it can be a little bit off-putting.
Well, that's
so make smaller ones.
It is true, and we will go back for another demo anyway. Just while I remember the point, I don't know who it was that always taught me. I don't know if it was school, it may have been Lou, that taught me never use the front page of a book, whether it's a journal, whether it's a blank page book. If you're going to do a bit of artwork or you're going to do a bit of writing, you want to tell a story, never use the front page. Because if you make a mistake, that's the first page you always turn to. And it will always remember, oh, I can't do this. I'm not very good at that. Always use the middle. But then, picking on what Ali just said, don't just use the middle. Just use one sheet. and get used to that one sheet, and then you turn it into your book at 3 months down the line when you're good to go.
And again, with pockets and everything, you don't have to commit. You could have it. I mean, some of the ones I've made, I've just put blank, nice sort of sketch paper in, because then you can do a little bit. And then if you want to hide it behind, because the thing is, we do all need to get it out of our heads and onto paper.
That's true.
But you don't necessarily want to share it. So have it in a pocket, have it hidden behind. That's what's nice with the tag I'm about to do. You can have it all hidden. So it's there, it's served its purpose to get it out and visualise it, because we know that's really helpful. But it doesn't have to be in a place that can be shared, but you've got plenty that you can still show.
I love it, absolutely love it. Right, and Ali, what are you up to?
Right, so we're going to do the magic tag. We're going to ruin the illusion of magic now. So the nice thing with this tag pocket is, if you don't want to do it as magic, you don't use the third panel. Okay, you just have a small panel there, and then that just gives you a little window. You don't even have to cut the window out. All of that is covered in instructions that would say, you know, do this, do that. My husband will design something to do one job. My big challenge then is to make sure it does something else, because I don't like things that only do one thing, because that doesn't endear me to them. I like something like the book cradle that means I've got one tool and I can do lots with it. I'm possibly the worst demonstrator for that, because it's like, no, if it only does one thing, I don't like it. I wouldn't buy it.
Don't like it?
Don't like it. So I'm cutting out my window. And keep that bit. That'll be used in something else. That'll fit in the envelope. Cut out the finger hole. Okay. And then it's just a case of making sure you line that back up. Do your trick with your embossing tool. You don't need to be on a soft surface or anything. It's just to help the paper fold where you want to. This is the only one that's a little bit trickier. If you're using really sturdy paper, what I would do is actually score that line before you cut the window out, just so it's supported a little bit. And then it's just a case of making sure you can see where you've scored it. The paper will tell you, because you've run that embossing tool up and down. And there we go. So that one gets tucked inside. Okay, so you've got like a second pocket there. That's the important thing, if you're doing the magic one. If you're not doing the magic one, you don't need to worry. Okay, that just folds around the back, and the bottom folds up as well. So now you've got your little wallet. And I say this works great on cards. We're talking journals here, but obviously a little bit of imagination, that works really nicely on a card. And what you would do, stamp your image and colour it in on your back panel, and then you stamp onto acetate, and then when you pull it out,
it looks like it's coloured.
Colours itself in.
I like that idea as well.
Okay, but we're going to just do a very simple version here. So just drawing round, so even the inside tags, we've done all the measuring for you. Can you tell I don't like measuring?
I feel what we're about to do now, should be for every stamp set that we do. Should be done like it should be stamped on acetate, and then as we reveal it, it colours itself.
It's like, do you remember those colouring books when we were younger that you just used to paint with water and the
and they'd come alive.
That was that was mixed media for us as children.
It was just a paintbrush and water.
Right, now, acetate, obviously I can't draw around with a pen, so as long as you are careful, because obviously it is only a plastic template, you can just hold it against and just cut round. just be careful. I mean, it's sturdy plastic. I mean, it's 350 microns, so, you know, you're not going to easily snip it with your scissors, but just pay a little bit of attention. Right, so the acetate goes on the top. So the green one goes in the back pocket. The acetate one is going to fit in the front pocket. And then they just slide in together. That's the only trouble when you're doing acetate on telly, is that you can't see. So it slipped a little bit. So I'm just going to take a tiny slither off there.
Just like you're cutting air.
I know, it's the same when I'm stood here. So I didn't notice that I obviously hadn't lined it up very well. Now I can see I've lined it up better. It's like a challenge. Emperor's new clothes. So honestly, there is something there. So what I'll do to help you see that is we've got our new extra large ephemera.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
here we go, Katie. Look, here we go.
So
I've got ephemera. I've got new ephemera on the show as well.
So it's our favourite bugs, but we've gone big with them. So there we go. We've put him onto our acetate. I'm now just going to put a little bit of glue there to sandwich the two together. So I'm going to slide. The green goes in the back.
Here we go, here we go.
So let your glue dry.
Let your glue dry.
Okay. Then when you've got that glue to your page, you pull that up and your bug changes colour. And then also here you could have some writing, you could, you know, anything you want, but it's just that little bit of fun.
I love it.
So that could be a black and white photo on vellum, and then when you pull it out, you've got a nice coloured background or something. You know, when you do that sort of watercolour effect, you know, when they've touched up old black and white pictures and made them look colour.
Yeah.
You could have that sort of effect. So just do a nice, want to lose beautiful watery with watery watercolour backgrounds, black and white image over the top, printed onto acetate or vellum, and then when you pull it out, it's like travelling in time. Do you remember the film where they changed from black and white to colour as they fell in love? It's a good film. But that's how you do that pocket, and then that would go in to another page of your journal. This is designed so it can fit, you can fit 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I like this, because then you could have other things in them as well.
Yeah,
like
so you could have little messages and things like that. You don't have to do the double pocket. You can have it as just a simple pull-out message. You can have them going that way, so they're coming out the top. Again, it's all designed so that you can mix and match and make it your own. Do as much or as little as you want.
I love it.
And you don't have to do something on every page. You could have blank pages and then just 1 or 2 interactive elements. It's just
one of these
endless.
things that I feel once you have the knack, once you've got the knack of this and you've got the templates in your life, you can then start manipulating your templates. So once you've drawn a tab and you know where that tab goes, you move it up, you can make that pocket smaller. You haven't got to do the big pockets all in all, but I'll give you more details about the one-day special very, very soon. We come down to the ephemera. These are brand new ephemeras. Pick and mix. There's a lot of options for you to choose from. I have all the options here for you to choose from, but these two are the newest two out of the lot. Now, you're going to get 3 sheets of each option that you're going to pick. You've got bugs and bucks that you've got in there. But if you are going for your one-day special, I would definitely be going for the book stamps because they make them look like old school. It reminds me of Britannica. Yeah. The old school Britannica books that we used to have at school that no one ever read. But they were there on the shelf to look pretty with the gold spines. I remember them to this day. It looks like that. But does this mean if we wanted to do sort of, I'm guessing it's sort of like a cheats version of binding our book together, if we wanted to put a front cover and a back cover on, we could use the book covers to do that?
Yes. So normally you would use like a fabric tape, or some people use, you know, the sticky tape. This time you can just literally use the sticker. So you put your spine, you put your front and back cover onto it. It's already sticky, and there's your book done.
I love it. I absolutely adore it. £9.98. It's worth having a little look at. We've got things like bottles, you've got architecture, butterflies, dragonflies. That would be nice as well. That would be beautiful with your one-day special. Look at that. I got clocks. I got flowers. So many more to choose from. £9.98 for choose any two. So you might want to go for 2 sets of books. Then you've got a lot of books to fill. 365043 is your item number. Let's go back to our Ali.
Right. I was going to say also, if you want to do fake books, the book spines are really good for that. If you're doing a little decorative shelf, you can just get a wad of cardboard and put that round, and it's a fake book. Right, in your template set, you do get the ones for doing your pages and your covers. They're the same thing.
Okay.
You've got 2 that are just plain A5 size. One has ovals, weird arrangement in. I'm going to put that onto the black so you can see what I'm talking about. And one that's got the rectangles. These are layering templates. So that means you can do mats and layers that are the perfect size so that you can have panels. So say, for example, you're using the black card, you can then put note paper or whatever you want. But I'm actually going to show that you could do like a bit more interactive with it, because I'm actually going to have the black page inside there, which we'll bind in a minute. And we're going to have a little door that opens here. So all I'm going to do is line this up. If you want to do a traditional bind where you just make holes and stitch with some ribbon or tie it together with ribbon or rings or anything, again, we've put those markings on. We've tried to put things on. You might not need them. You might not want to do it that way, but they're there for the sake of running the laser around for a second. Well, you know, we might as well. Let's go. So I'm going to go with this inner size here. Okay, and I'm only going to mark 3 sides. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, open my pages out, and this is why I'm going to do this before I bind this. If you're starting cutting into pages, always do it before you bind it, because then you're not going to accidentally slip and go through a page you don't want to.
With the book, I was going to ask it, I'm conscious of the time and I've got so many more questions to ask. With the book press,
yep.
Is it the same book press that me and you, and I'm sure it was me and you, that me and you did, where I put the pages in, but I leave a little bit sticking out?
And then you can do pad press.
And then I put the glue along the edge, and that's always stuck with me, that.
Yeah, you can do that, but also I probably use my book press more for non-book things than I do for book things.
As in?
As in, I put clay, air dry clay in it, put leaves and things, then wind it down and it presses them in. Pressed flowers, but I'm not the most patient person, so I put my flowers in, leave them in the press for about half an hour, then shove them in the microwave for 30 seconds, it finishes them off. Nice. So instead of having to wait the 2 weeks, it's done in an hour. But yeah, anything that I use, so we call it a book press, but anything that you're needing. So say, for example, this one I did earlier. If you're thinking...
we've gone off on a tangent now.
Yeah, we have, sorry. There, it keeps springing up and you're conscious that's going to make your book a little bit... Pop that in the book press overnight and that will just help it all sit down nice and flat. So it gets used for lots of different things, as well as the traditional book binding.
Say, get in the habit of make a book, pop it in the book press while you do something else.
Yeah, yeah.
Just gives it that little bit of time.
And I will show you one of my favourite cheats with the book press, because I found I was sort of not got enough hands. So I've just popped my template back on and scored that. So now I've made a little door into that one. So I could, if I wanted to, then put some acetate behind that and have a little window which I could stick some things on. Then I could see into the next page. So all that sort of thing. But before I forget, right, book press. So undo. And because my husband is fed up of me going righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
He's put the arrows on. I've just seen the arrows on them. I was going to say, they weren't on the original.
Going righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
They weren't on the original book press, if I remember.
Right, so, and this is slightly smaller. It's less weight to it, so it's easier. So, undo them, put it upside down, and then it will hold itself open while you put your things inside.
See, I'm going to hold it all like your knee.
Yeah. Then flick it over and then tighten them up.
We have just covered this. My producer was still fascinated by the magic card. Flower pressing, Katie, what you do is you put them in, for half an hour. No, you put them in for half an hour, press them, then put them in the microwave.
What you do is
Speeds
get
up the process.
a couple of pieces of cardboard and some kitchen towel. So put the flowers in the kitchen towel, then the cardboard, because the cardboard will help squish them down. Pop that all in the press for about half an hour to an hour, and then 30 seconds in the microwave. Still in the wad of cardboard and tissue, not in the book press.
Don't put your book press in the microwave, just the wad of paper with the flowers in the middle. 50% of the stock has already gone. Oh, look at me changing tack. 50% of the stock has already gone. £32.98. We are very, very busy for all of this, is what we're talking about. What is your item number? Because I don't feel like giving you it yet. 569295 is the number that you need to get it. Don't pay £32.98. Use your £5 credit. That'll make it £27.98. Unless you've already used it, then split it onto PayPal. Get 3 interest-free flexible payments over £30. Do not waste that £5 credit. This is a kit that you will adore. I think Katie's now going to go into book pressing. She's made 3 quilts. What was the other thing you were going to do, Katie, the week with me? Cross stitch? No, not cross stitch. I don't know, but she's now intrigued to do books about Rogers. And you could do you could like put rosettes in here and things like that.
Yeah, anything. Literally anything.
So really.
I've actually saved, you know, the little air freshener that's like a little jar that hangs in your car. That's in 2 parts. That's going to get made into a book at some point.
Oh, like the little American style air fresheners.
Yes. I noticed that was like, so that's getting made into a...
But that also means on the flip side of that, and I know I'm pushing the boundary when I say this, but you could turn the Christmas tree air fresheners also into a book.
Yeah. Anything. Honestly, you start looking around. I mean, they do laugh at me because I do very strange things. I disappear off into my craft space. See, now I've got a craft space. He doesn't know what I'm up to.
You've got a space, not a room, a space.
I've got a rather spectacular space.
Oh.
He built it in the garden for me.
Oh, you've been built in the garden? You've got your own... Oh.
Yeah, so I just have to let him know when I'm home. Honestly, that makes our garden sound massive. It's about from here to the camera.
Which is quite a long way, to be honest. Oh, nice.
Right, so I'm just thinking, yeah, that's going to make a good page. We're going to put a black one in there. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so let's stitch these together. Just because I can. I'm going to trim that all down in a minute. Now, just notice my workspace. I do apologise.
No, don't worry about it. It's a true crafter.
Right. In the kit, you actually now get an extra long piercing guide, just because it means that you can do an A5 book without, I've lost my needle, there it is, without having to move it along. Because the kit's designed for A5, we thought for the sake of a piece of MDF. So you see that lines up perfectly. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go along, pierce through all of them, and I'm going to get lovely, beautiful holes all the way through all my pages, including my one that's got the extra door in it. So out it comes out of the cradle, see, all nicely, and then I can just stitch it together. And if you want to, on one of mine I've added beads in. Top tip when doing beads, sort your beads out beforehand to make sure the needle passes through them. Oh. Otherwise you're halfway through stitching your book and you have to unthread your needle, put the thread through the bead.
And then put your needle back on.
Yeah, and it's just, it's time consuming. So just, to be fair, the kids' beads are really nice because they've got big holes in them.
Very true.
So all you're going to do, I've cut a bit too much thread there, so I'm going to shorten it. So
we've got 8 minutes.
Loads of time. So if you are going to put beads in, when you're on the outside, thread your bead in, then go back into the inside. And you don't have to worry about anything on the inside because you don't want beads in the middle of your book. So it doesn't matter how many holes you've got, the principle. If you don't want as many holes as you've done there, when you're doing the piercing, just miss every other one out. You don't have to do everyone.
I'm guessing it makes it stronger the more holes
It
we
does,
have?
and it also, if you're wanting it nicely decorative, it looks nice. You can have, you know, more holes there. But obviously, on the overall appearance, I always try and avoid doing too few, which is why when we did the piercing guide for the smaller cradle, I wanted them closer together, because it meant if I was doing miniature books, they were still getting 3 to 5 holes. Because 2 holes isn't really enough to, you know, it's barely holding it. But, you know, I am going to cut this extra book page down a bit, but you can see it doesn't matter. You don't have to. Your pages don't all have to be the same size. But you can just see that this is actually becomes a pleasurable thing. It's not a pain.
I just cannot get over, and every time I see when Ali brings this to us, it's how quick.
Yeah,
it's so quick to put a book together.
It is, and it is the traditional. I mean, you know, obviously there's amazing different stitches you can do, but at the end of the day, if you're making a book to do something in, it doesn't have to be beautifully ornate. And also, if you don't like the stitching showing, let's say, for example, you've messed it up, you know, you didn't notice there was an ink pad there, you can always stick an outer cover on it. Or if you're making multiple pieces and then joining them together to make a bigger book, you stitch a piece of ribbon in and then you can join multiple parts together.
So I was going to say, you could just put an outer cover. If you don't like this bit and you don't want your work being seen, you just, as Ali said, you just stick an outer cover on the front like in a real book.
Now, we all spotted my deliberate mistake where I forgot to skip the middle hole.
You went through the middle hole, I was going to say.
Yeah, so, but it doesn't matter, I could just unpick it, but I'm going to cheat because I can. Because it's Christmas, you're allowed to cheat.
Of course you are.
It's the rules. But it goes to show it doesn't matter. I've got enough holes there that's not going to overly. But this is why you should concentrate when you're stitching and not have a chin wag with Adam.
Well, I was listening. I was also having a little sip of my juice that I wasn't allowed. But Ali snuck across to me.
Don't tell everybody that we're... So now you've got extra
it does make
elements.
us sound like we're drinking on the job. We're really not. It's just it's just a bottle of water that Ali passed me because we're not allowed them, apparently.
So I would decorate that up. Then you've got an element that opens. So even just the simplest of templates from the set, you can do so much more. And then you could have a different size door in that, and you know, or you could have doors that open all the way through the book to reveal a little book at the back, like a tunnel book. It's just, it can go on and on. Just really play with what you've got. We've given you the tools to make whatever you want.
I love these. And it really is all the tools that you need to go on and on and on. And I think the more you think about these and the more you look at them, the more you will see different things in them. So the more you'll see different tabs that you've got in there. In the big bundle, as we see before, you've got the little record cards with your notelets on. Let me show you some of these, because we've not really seen these in detail yet. So you've got your little record cards with your notelets on the back. You've got your old school admission tickets, which I absolutely adore. It reminds me of Hunstanton Beach winning a little monkey jungle game. 3,000 tickets. It cost me. It would have been cheaper to buy it, Ali, to be honest.
I know. We've all fallen for it.
It would have been cheaper of me to buy it than actually win 3,000 tickets, but I did it. I was quite proud of myself. You're also getting your ephemera stickers in there. Let me go through what you're actually getting. You are getting a fabulous little bundle for journal making is what you're getting in this one, from making a complete album also to creating peekaboo pockets that you may want to create as well, that's on there. In the big set, you are going to get one of a set of plastic templates, pockets, tabs, pages and also envelopes. You're also going to get 3 sheets of ephemera in this kit as well. You're going to get 7 printed papers which are run along that, which we've not even touched on yet in this hour, but they are absolutely exquisite, from world maps that you're getting in there to sheet music to newspapers that you're getting in. Then you're also going to get an assorted A5 and A4 cardstock. You're going to get A4 clear acetate that's in here as well, and you're going to get a large format of craft paper in there. You're also going to get assorted ribbons, as we've seen. Here are your ribbons to do all your books up. So you've got all your ribbons that's in there. And you've also got those record cards that I showed you earlier and admission tickets as well. But that is just one half of your one-day special. Now, if you want to go for that, you can, OK? If you just want £17.99, bosh, done. But you can go for the big bundle. The details are now currently down the side of your screen as we speak, which is also going to get you your MDF book binding cradle, which is this one. It's going to get you your book press. It's going to get you your needle. It was just in the wrong order on my list. You're going to get your needle. You're going to get your reel of thread. You're also going to get your piercing guides, 2 of them, that fits the cradle perfectly. So you can make those bigger books, and you're also going to get the DVD that will guide you all the way through on all the processes that we're seeing now. But already, over half of the stock has already gone. Whether you're 2 or 92, we've all got memories that we need to keep. We've all got stuff that we want to jot down and pictures that we want to capture. Life's short. It really is. But why not store all those memories so you can pass them down from generation to generation? I don't know if you're like me, I love a photo. I went in the loft to get one of Molly's teddies this morning for Christmas because we're dressing it up for Boxing Day. And I was up there for nearly 2 hours looking at photos, old school books that was up there. I was literally just sat up there looking at old memories. But all those memories were falling apart because they were all just in storage boxes. Not really looked after whatsoever. But with this kit, I can look after them time and time again. I've only got 30 seconds left of this hour. Start checking out your baskets. All there is left to say, thank you, Al.
Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Have a very good Christmas.
And you.
Because I won't see you now. Have a good one. Enjoy 8 o'clock when you're back.
Thank you.
Well, I will see. I'll be watching you on the telly, but I'll be at home on the Blue Nun. So don't you go anywhere. There's so much more to shop for. Yeah, she's a lovely woman. I think she's got a circulation problem, I think.